Hello everyone, in a slightly unusual video, let's say, because I didn't plan it. I thought that we will jump straight into Europa Universalis 5 upon its release, and that's it, and we'll enjoy it. But we've received development diary number 6. It's interesting. It's only 6. Okay, whatever. I haven't followed that, so it's quite surprising. About military and warfare, and I've read it. And well, let's be honest, I'm flabbergasted with what's included in that development diary because I believe that Paradox actually provided the most complex and the most interesting military and warfare system ever in their games. Of course, someone could argue that Hearts of Iron 4 is there, of course, and that's basically the game focus on military itself, the warfare itself. But there is a little thing which is maybe not let's call it 100% right regarding Hearts of Iron 4. So Hearts of Iron 4 is about warfare, Second World War, and this is obvious. Everyone knows it. But the point is that still, despite the fact that game is focused on warfare, it's a little bit too simplified. I would expect something more towards Gary Grigsby's series, which is much more complex and much more complicated at the same time. Hearts of Iron 4 seems to be simplified in terms of warfare. So it's basically the game set in Second World War period, which is totally fine. But the warfare, which is the most important system, I believe, regarding that period, is simplified. And that's why I'm saying that Europa Universalis 5 will provide the most complex military and warfare system ever created by Paradox. So, let's start with that. It was released on 2nd of October 2025, so week ago. I read it only once, so let's read it once again. I will stop from time to time to discuss certain aspects. I don't know much about Europa Universalis 4, but based on my little knowledge, I know that warfare in Europa Universalis 4 is rather simple as well. So it's just the military potential versus military potential with some modifiers provided by either technologies or generals. And there's not much you can do about the battles themselves. So in case of Europa Universalis 5, that's it's totally different. So let's start reading. Hello everyone and welcome back to another development diary for Europa Universalis 5. This week we are talking war, a topic I'm sure a lot of you were waiting for. Yeah, absolutely. I've been waiting for it for a very long time and I'm glad we finally got that. So, war during the modern era was evolving constantly and went from the late medieval armies made of knights and levies to professionalized armies with gunpowder and destruction power never seen before, to end up at the beginning of the 19th century a mass conscription force wielding efficiently both firepower and shock. And this is actually crazy already because you start in the late medieval, let's say. This is 14th century, right? So can we call it late medieval? I think so. We can actually call it late medieval. And we end up in 19th century, and the difference is massive between these two periods. So in late medieval, armies were rather small. We can talk about 10, 15, 20,000 men, sometimes bigger armies like 30,000 were a thing, but rather it was smaller than bigger, let's be honest, unless we talk about Asia and China in particular. So yeah, there were bigger armies, of course, but regarding Europe, I would say the average was about 15 to 20,000 men. So if you compare it with 19th century, or I'm sorry, 18th century 19th century or 18th century armies, then the difference is absolutely massive, and it has to be somehow represented in the game. In Europa Universalis 4, it's just the numbers, plus artillery, which you can add at some point. Uh, but basically numbers. And here, in that game, seems like it's completely different. I mean, it's not only numbers, it's something more. So let's continue reading. If you read earlier the diaries, you understand now that what drives us, trying to make a living simulation where every choice has consequences. And Warfare in Europa Universalis 5 follows the same philosophy. Armies are made of people, logistic matters, and the world will fight back against your dreams of conquest. Logistic matters. That sentence, guys. That sentence. That's something truly missing in Paradox games so far. Logistic matters. I think there is a quote regarding logistics. Let me find it because this is awesome quote. So yeah, I'm gonna go down because I want to already provide it. So where it is? Oh, okay, here we have it. Amateurs talk tactics, but professionals study logistics. Absolutely. I mean, there are different variations of that quote, but in general, yeah, professionals talk about logistics because logistics is everything on the battlefield. Let's be honest. So, okay, so we finished here, and we have first graphic. I would like to take a look at that. Yep, just plenty of numbers. That's the Excel, right? What we have here? So we have sheer numbers, the potential manpower. I think that minus 50,000. Those are losses. I assume. Then we have Navy. This is quite simple, I believe. No idea what it means. These two. Same here. We have Navy and we have manpower and losses. So this is what win the 100 Years War. That's the goal. Okay, 23 attackers, which means that we have a lot of vassals, and same on the French side. And this is basically it. I have no idea what those icons mean, so I won't tell you. I won't tell you anything. I haven't played that game, so that's it. For sure, we know that there's a lot of numbers to study, which is cool. Okay, I'm gonna close that graphic. Let's continue. This is the war screen, by the way, in the war between France and England in 1351. So almost beginning of the 100 Years War. Late medieval warfare. At the start of the Europa Universalis 5, most states do not field professional armies. Yeah, well, this is correct. Even in late medieval, I think talking about professional armies was I mean that wasn't the matter. You basically had knights, but they were limited, of course. So no professional armies in most cases. To fight in the multiple wars started by the many kings and dukes, each state will rely on levies raised from their population, peasants, burghers, nobles, whoever your laws and institutions can call upon. Okay, so that's another interesting aspect. So basically, you have different population groups, and it can vary, right? You can have more peasants, more burghers, and more nobles, and I believe that somehow affects basically warfare itself, but also the repercussions after the warfare, because it's going to really matter how many of those you are going to lose and how many will survive. So there can be some kind of power balance change, some shifts in power because of the war itself. This is pretty interesting. So we have the tab here represented. This is calling levies can be done through the military tab. Okay, and what do we have here? I'm gonna. Oh, I cannot click on that. Okay, fair enough. So this rates levies. A total of 80,000 army levies will gather in all area capitals, with the bulk in Paris. This is also. I'm sorry. This is also pretty cool that levies come from different places, different provinces. So we have from Paris, no, Pays de France. I have no idea where it is. Touraine, Orléans, blah blah blah. Different number of levies. The population raised into a levy will reduce the, I believe this is population symbol by 1. each as their families follow them for a total of 80,000 while the levies are raised. And the surviving levies will return the similar amount of population, which is, this is awesome, basically. Because now warfare will be different. I think so far, in most Paradox games, it was like, okay, we have war, we have some potential to spare, let's attack or defend, and it really doesn't matter how many of us will die. And now it really matters. So basically you can attack someone just for the purpose of killing their man, not conquering him or capturing his provinces or land, whatever. You can just kill his population by doing so, which renders your potential enemy incapable of future developments and plans. And this is pretty cool, let's be honest. Okay, we will also receive raw materials output minus 20%, food production minus 20% in every location, raising a levy. Okay, awesome. So that's it. We also have some basic information about armies. We have army tradition. I'm so glad of it because in Victoria we don't have it, or at least I haven't noticed it anywhere. We have army experience, so we have both army tradition and army experience. It's even better now. Army morale, discipline, and military tactics. I absolutely love it. Okay, so, but those people raised in the army are real members of your population, and they will leave their jobs to go fight in your wars, which means also that when they die on the battlefield or from other causes, the pop is gone forever. And of course, if you disband the remains of your army, survivors will return to their home and resume civilian life. I mean, they are absolutely correct saying that they wanted, still want, to achieve the kind of simulation, because that's the real representation of how it worked. The quality of the levy will vary by the type of pop, and this is huge again. I mean, come on, you go so deep, so complex regarding that. I mean, in most games it's like, okay, pop is pop, right? I just raise my army and I don't give a shit who is who. And here that's gonna matter whether it's a peasant, noble, burgher, or whoever. A peasant levy will probably form the backbone of your army, but will end up as undisciplined frontliner with a spear. While noble levy will provide heavy armored knights, different pops produce levies with distinct equipment, discipline, and role on the battlefield. Absolutely astonishing. I mean, this is cool. Whoever invented that, this is awesome, guys. I mean, huge kudos for them. That's something I wanted to see, honestly, because it really matters. I mean, this is the real representation of warfare. I mean, real, as game can allow you to represent warfare in realistic way. This is very realistic, especially that you are governing the country, the nation, and you can actually affect who is going to fight where and how, with what equipment. Huge. Okay, so we have another screenshot. We have six army, I mean the duplicates of name. Here we have, I mean, I believe this is the weight of the army, which means that how much fleet capacity you have to transport them. Then it's stationing of that, I mean, kind of HQ, their encampment, whatever. Then we have total numbers. Here we have provisions, number of regiments. I believe those are regiments, not battalions. Then we have number of infantry, cavalry, artillery, and auxiliary units, which is some type of logistics. Then we have, unfortunately, a picture of our general, and again we have the same picture down there. And I have to be honest with you, I absolutely hate those 3D models, so I'm not gonna change my mind. I just don't like them. For me, they kill immersion. I would prefer such 2D models. Someone said that it's harder to create 2D models than 3D. Okay, for me, they could be just generic 2D models like that one. I don't believe that creating such 2D model is harder than creating 3D model or the generic one. I would just take it. 2D, it would fit much better here instead of 3D. But this is my subjective opinion, so yeah, I don't like them. That's it. So this is general, his name, of course, his statistics, which is administration or stewardship, let's call it like that, diplomacy and martial skills, and of course all of them affect how general can fight. So it's not like only martial skills matter. All of them matter because administration represents something else, diplomacy represents something else, and martial represents something else. So this is great. This is another cool factor to be added. Then plenty of options. But what's interesting here is that we have first of all the composition. So we have center, 10 regiments or battalion. Let's call them regiments. Then we have left flank and right flank, both 9 regiments each. And then we have information about what kind of levies we have. So we have feudal levies. It says also from which region. We have footman levy. We have mailed knights, footman levy, blah blah blah. Also, we say we select where they are going to station, whether it's flank, center, or maybe reserve, which is another awesome aspect that you can actually assign them to certain places. This is really nice. Levies come in different types depending on which social class they come from. Peasants make standard levies, burghers and clergy make footmen, and nobles make knights. Damn, this is cool. This is really cool. But be careful, levies will not replenish during your campaigns. To refill the losses, you have to disband the army and raise a new one, making every battle a crucial decision. Yeah, that's big. Especially that, let's assume you fight someone, you see that his army lost 5,000 men and it's only 10,000 left, and you know that they will not receive reinforcements. So now your decisions can be, okay, I'm going to just leave that army and try to besiege his fort or his capital, whatever, because I know he cannot get reinforcements, which means that I'm still stronger than he is, so I have advantage over him. Or maybe you can decide, okay, I'm gonna chase him because I know he will not receive reinforcements, so I can just decimate his army once and for all and then focus on conquering his land. I mean, we will see how it works, but this is pretty awesome. Okay, then we have transition to standing army. As technology and institutions develop, you will unlock more means to fill a standing army, as well as many new military buildings that employ a particular class of soldiers. Soldiers are employed in buildings that generate manpower for your standing armies, such as the armory, as well as used for castle garrisons and other military-based buildings. So, if you have standing army and you have a pop called soldier, if soldier dies, it means that the pop of the class soldier died. It's not the pop doing some other works. It's no more levy. It's a soldier. It's a professional soldier. So if you raise your army, your standing army, you are not taking the let's say capital or the capacity from your oh my god, I've lost the word. Your economy. Let's call it like that. Which is quite important. So we have armory. This is one of the available buildings regarding military. I believe that armory is actually available after some time. So yeah, you have to rely on levies for quite a bit of time. It generates monthly manpower, can recruit regiments here. Okay, they call them regiments, fair enough. Then you have some required production methods. I mean, those are basically what kind of resources you need to I mean, sustain armory. Sustain, is that the right word for it? Okay. It says that, well, you have upgrade path, which is another cool thing because you know that you can expand that building. Then you have leather, masonry, lumber, and weaponry. That's required, right? For what? For the upkeep. Oh, upkeep. That's the good word. Default building time and market building cost. The development of professional armies has created a need for getting new sources of manpower for our armies. The armory can be built in urban locations to increase it. Armory is the first building that can be built nationwide that can recruit manpower. This building gets unlocked in the Age of Renaissance under the Professional Armies Institution. Armories can only be built in urban locations. Okay, pretty cool. And the next building is training fields. It also increases monthly manpower, can recruit regiments here, of course. Again, the upgrade path for it, the upkeep cost, market building costs, blah blah blah. The training fields can be built in rural location as another source of manpower for our armies. So I believe that's gonna be the building of choice for Russia or Poland maybe. Training fields, the first building that allows you to recruit manpower out of rural locations, and that discern between urban locations and rural locations. This is pretty cool as well. Unlocking the age of discovery under the pike and shot institution. So you see that armory can be built in age of Renaissance, and to get training fields, actually that's the age of discovery, and the pike and shot tactics, or I mean in that case it's called institution. Every standing regiment has to be maintained financially, but can also drill and be upgraded over time as technology progresses. You will manage the transition from standard men-at-arms and archers to halberdiers, musketeers, and cannons. And you have a unit called early arquebusiers. And you have battle statistics, and it's quite a bit of them. So I believe this is no idea what. The second one is I assume initiative. Then you have, I don't know what it can be, flanking capability. It cannot be 100% for arquebusiers. That's the infantry. So yeah, I have no idea what it means. We'll find out soon. Then you have logistics, which is another cool factor. So yeah, you see that they need some provisions to sustain the combat. Monthly maintenance, of course, requirements for construction, and a little description, which I really like. The arquebus is the evolution of the handgun, making it a more reliable type of gunpowder weapon, as it is easier and faster to reload, making it ideal for deploying larger gunpowder fire units. Surprisingly, I assume that bow was a little bit more effective than arquebus, but the sound the arquebus made is what it was more terrifying for the units, despite the fact it was quite inaccurate and probably wasn't as deadly as the bow. It's still the psychological effect of the arquebus on the advancing infantry or cavalry. Early arquebusiers are an age of discovery gunpowder unit unlocked in the pike and shot institution. They have higher initiative than other units, but take more morale and strength damage. Interesting. So high initiative, but less morale and less damage, right? I mean, sorry, they take more morale and strength damage. So if someone attacks them, there are greater penalties, right? Okay, the next is Falconet, which is the early gun, and also a bunch of statistics. You have logistics, blah blah blah. I mean, this is some type of weight, I guess. I have no idea to be honest, but it's cool that we have separate statistics for logistics, and it's quite a few of them. So this is awesome. The Falconet is a light cannon developed in the 15th century as an evolution of the similar Falcon, being more mobile while firing smaller caliber shots. Smaller caliber shots, not smaller caliber shots, but smaller caliber shots. Falconets are an age of discovery gunpowder unit unlocking the pike and shot institution. They have higher combat power than early arquebusiers, but only do damage in the bombard phase of battle. So yeah, there is a bombard phase of battle. This is how battles start, and then artillery is not used. Is it good or bad? Of course, in most cases, artillery was used throughout the whole battle, with different goals, different objectives. I believe, or at least I hope, that they will change it. That actually artillery will also have its own place during the rest of the battle. Of course, we don't know how they can modify it, because it might be a little bit too complex. But it would be nice if you can actually get some bonuses from having really solid artillery, because the bombardment is only one part of the battle, but then you can still use that artillery for some other purposes. So even the psychological effect. So I hope they will change it slightly. but we'll see. Next topic is army organization and command. So how much is left? Oh my lord, this is huge. I've already 25 minutes. What if I finish here now and we will continue with what was it? Army organization and command. Is that all right? It's 25 minutes, so that's gonna make two separate episodes. Yeah, I think let's do that because it's 25 minutes and I'm gonna make much more mistakes right now after so much time. So yeah, I'm gonna split it in half. So we'll come back to it. Okay, so I hope you like it. And hopefully see you in the next one. We'll continue with that dev diary regarding military and warfare. We'll start with army organization and command next time. So once again, thank you very much and see you next time. Goodbye.